Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday morning. Hope you're having a great day. It is chilly here in Philly, so I hope everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful day so far. Say good morning to everyone. Good morning, Rick. How are you doing? Rick, 21 days until we are on the Maravilha. Super exciting. Fred and Lisa, how are you guys doing? Good morning. Rick is taking a quick break from raking up the leaves. There are tons of those out there. Glad I don't have to do that. Katie Myers, good morning. Today is a good day for Detroit Lions win. You got it. Detroit Lions, very good. I'm very surprised by Jared Goff's turnaround there in Detroit. So congrats on them being so good. They're looking like a Super Bowl team. That is awesome. Hope everybody's having a great day. There is a ton of cruise news from this week. So let's get into a little cruise news. First up, so we have Royal Caribbean in their return to Labadee has announced that they are going to kind of be careful with shore excursions a little bit. They're still kind of really being cautious in Labadee since Haiti is still a little bit of a mess. I don't know if anybody's been to Haiti, but Haiti is not the safest place on earth. Royal Caribbean does a really good job keeping the island safe. Obviously, they didn't go there for a long time, so they are back, but they are keeping those excursions to a minimum. So usually there's a ton of different excursions that you could do there. Now there are about 10 to 12 excursions that you could do. They're just kind of being extra cautious, which I appreciate. I know people complain about those things, but look, when we are talking about cruising, I always lean towards safety. If they think it's better that we're safe and not doing those things, I totally get it. I get that it stinks if you get to go on one vacation every year or every 2 years, whatever it is, and you're going to miss out on those things. I get it, but it's way better to keep your life and stay there. And again, if they're going there, I think the island is safe. They're just being a little extra cautious. Good morning, Edward Clayton. Hope you are doing well. Robin, good morning. Hope you are doing well as well. Robin, I have to make sure I have your address to send that camera out. If not, can you email me your address? I think I do. I think I sent you guys coffee. So I should have it. I want to send that camera out today or tomorrow. So I'm going to get that over to you. Next bit of cruise news, Royal Caribbean has opened up bookings for Trans-Pacific 2026 sailings. It's an interesting one, the Trans-Pacific. You hear about Transatlantic all the time, but they do Trans-Pacific as well. Anthem and Voyager are both going to be doing those sailings. Anthem is doing an 18-night departing Sydney on April 14th. It's going to go to New Zealand, Tahiti, and then it's going to finish up in Honolulu, Hawaii. That sounds amazing. And then Voyager is doing a 24-night cruise departing Brisbane, same day, stops in Tahiti, Honolulu, Napali Coast, Kona, and Hilo, and then it's going to finish up in Seattle. That one's a little more expensive. It's about $6,000 for a balcony cabin for 2 adults. But for 24 nights, that's actually not bad. Sounds actually pretty reasonable. And you get to go to a few different places in Hawaii, and you are over in Australia and Tahiti. So that sounds amazing. Obviously, it costs you money to get over there too. Ash, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Carrie Ann, just getting on the Apex. That is awesome. Kevin and Carrie Ann are doing a side-by-side. So they just got off Symphony and they have now just got on the Apex. Carrie Ann and Kevin, let me know in the comments if you have time. If you're not super busy, let me know how everything was on Symphony. Hope you had a great time. Hope you enjoy the Apex. It is beautiful. Different level of pretty ship, but it is a beautiful ship. So let me know. So Miami this year has broken their cruise passenger record again. It's been several years in a row since we've recovered from the pandemic. 2019 was a great year for cruising. And then obviously the world ended and then it got back really on track in 2022. In 2023, it had an amazing year where it was 7.29 million guests were in the port of Miami. This year crashed that record and hit 8.2, which is almost a million more, which I don't think is sustainable for us to keep going up by those numbers. Because if anybody's going out of Miami lately, the port's crowded. It's definitely crowded on certain days where there's 6 or 7 ships there. It is not easy to get in and out of that port anymore. But that's amazing news. It's great for cruising. Sandy, how are you? Hi, John. We are excited to board the Odyssey next Sunday. Wish you were coming with us. I do too. Wish I was going with you guys as well. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to go on the Odyssey. I like the Quantum class ships. Not my favorite, not as much the Oasis class, but they're awesome. I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope you guys are feeling okay. Everything's good there. Let me know if you guys are doing all right. And hopefully you guys are good and ready to go. Next bit of cruise news. Same thing with Fort Lauderdale. They have broken another record. Their original record was in 2014, which was 3.8 million guests, and now this year they hit almost 4.1, which is incredible. That means that port is growing leaps and bounds as well. So that is great to hear. Again, cruising overall really up in the past few years. Hopefully now, I was really worried with the election, everything going on. You never know what's going to happen in the world. So I am happy that the election's over, and I'm happy to see, hopefully, everything remains quiet and peaceful. Just don't ruin my cruising. That's all I ask for anyone. Leave my cruising alone. Don't mess with my cruising. Next up, I don't know if everybody saw this week. I'm sure you did. Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas got hit with a little bit of a rogue wave. Obviously, Royal, the only line to have a meteorologist, but sometimes there is nothing you could do, and a rogue wave hit the Explorer of the Seas, tilted it on its side a little bit. And obviously, there was a ton of pictures where bottles were broken in some of the bars. Really, really crazy. No one was seriously hurt, thank God. And somebody did have to go for some treatment, but everything is okay, which is very, very good. So Kevin said, we are exhausted. We tried to do as much as possible, many late nights, and we're looking forward to relaxing on the Apex. Yeah, you did it, I think, the right way, right? You did Symphony and then Apex. Apex is going to be much more of a relaxing experience. I do hope you guys got to see most of the shows. I know there's no way you could see all of the shows, but I hope you did get to see at least like Hairspray, Aqua Theater, and maybe one ice show. I hope. I don't think you probably got to see the flight or anything like that, but I hope you got to see some shows. And I hope you guys have an awesome, relaxing time on Apex. Kim Marshy, 8 days till Utopia. Kim, can't wait to hear what you think about Utopia. I would love to get on Utopia soon. We had Utopia scheduled, but we canceled it to try to go on some older ships this past year, which we're going to continue that trend. There are a ton of influencers and there are plenty of cruise tubers, like the really big cruise tubers, with the exception of Gary Bembridge, who does more. I feel like he does more luxury cruises and stuff like that. And of course, Emma does a bunch of things, obviously in Europe, and she goes to some exciting places. She's in Japan right now, which is awesome. So, Tony and Don and Matt Hotchberg goes on the new Royal ships. And then there's a ton of other, like Jay at Ship Life and all them go on to a bunch of the new ships, Para DJ. So I think it's fine for us not to do all those. I would love to go on every new ship that comes out, right? Selfishly, I would love to do that. I love going on all the new ships, seeing the biggest and the best. But it's not probably the best for our community and our audience. So we decided to go on some smaller ships, which are great too. We try to go on some older and some smaller ships that maybe the other big cruise creators are not going on. So we try to do that to try to give everybody some good content. So we're going to continue to do that next year. We will go on. I am on Icon next year, but it's been over a year already. So that content has calmed down on Icon. Everybody will be jumping on Star this year. So we'll be on Icon. Maybe World America, which obviously is brand new. I still don't know anything about that. But I'm going on some older ships. Carnival Celebration, which is a few years old. I think people have forgotten about that a little bit. Grand MSC Grandiosa this year. So a little mix of old and new, and we will see where we wind up in the year. I forget what other ships I'm going on this year. Definitely a couple new ships because I'm going on Aqua this year as well. So we'll see. Kevin said we did see all and ate a lot too. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you got to see all this stuff. Tom said, good morning. Happy 249th Marine Corps birthday and happy Veterans Day tomorrow. Yes, happy Marine Corps birthday today and happy Veterans Day tomorrow to all the veterans. Thank you for your service. My dad is a former Navy man, so he was on a destroyer in the Navy in Korea. So happy Veterans Day. Happy Marine Corps birthday. Kim Marshy said, honestly, pays off. Feel like some of the other creators take surprise out of experience some of the new ships. I love your style. Thank you so much, Kim. Yeah, I agree. So I haven't watched anything on Icon other than like very preliminary stuff, like about the promenade and things like that. I do agree. I think it takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails. I like to be surprised a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm going on most of the other ships, I do a ton of research because I want to know where things are. I want to make sure I can move around easily. So I do. I watch a lot of like horror travel. I love Danny's style with horror travel. So I love watching those things. So I do watch a lot of those, and I find his style to be informative and less like ruining surprises of like some of the fun things on there. So yeah, I agree. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hey, Bob. Hi, John, Sandy, Amanda, Dakota, Emily, and Nick and his family will be on the Wonder this season, February, as will I, just different weeks. Do you think the Black Friday deals will be better after Thanksgiving? I don't think they'll be better after Thanksgiving. I think we're moving into the best deals. I can actually tell you when the best deals are going to be. I can see all the deals before they come out. So I can let you know when to hit the cruise planner, right? Because we get notification like a few weeks in advance of all the deals. So I can see all those. I can definitely let you know if they're going to be better. But some of the drink package ones are amazing right now. It's like $54 a day for the drink package, which is unheard of at this point. So yeah. Bob, I forget what week are you guys going on? Wonder, because I think we're passing ships in the night there. I am on Wonder February 23rd, I think. Yeah, I think it's the 23rd. I think you guys are on a week or before or after me. Two old farts. Good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Kim with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Kim. I really appreciate that just for what you do for the community. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate that. That is very, very nice of you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Next bit of cruise news. As everyone may or may not know, Bar Harbor had a vote. I know everybody did the clickbait thumbnail. It drives me crazy. I'm trying not to criticize other people this year. That's going to be my New Year's resolution. You don't have to bring down other people. So I won't. But there was a lot of clickbait this week. I got clicked into a lot of videos about we lost the election, but it was just like the Bar Harbor. So Bar Harbor voted to keep the passenger limits where they are. It was close, but it is going to be at 1,000 still per day. So that is unfortunate news because I think Bar Harbor is an amazing place to visit. However, again, my feeling with cruising is if you don't want us there, we won't come. And I think we're seeing, and we'll talk about some things later in the cruise news, we're seeing, and I keep talking about it with Royal Caribbean specifically, that they are going to continue to buy up space and create these private islands. And those different cities and states are going to really start losing out on tourist dollars from cruising, which maybe they don't care about. And that's fine. Again, if you don't want us there, I would rather go to places that want us. And look, I love Bar Harbor. I think it's beautiful. I love Acadia. I do love culture. But I also love going on cruises, and I love going to fun islands, these curated experiences that are a ton of fun. So I will enjoy that just as much. Next up, we have a couple anniversaries. Holland America's Volendam completed its 25th year in service, as did Royal Caribbean's Voyager of the Seas, both 25 years in service. As you know, 25 to 30 years is kind of like it really getting to the end of the life. And now we're seeing ships last a little bit longer into 30, 35 years, which I think is exciting. I know people do hate some of the older ships. They complain about the smell and everything. I enjoy them. I think they're great. There's only so much you can do. It's a ship that's on the water. Amanda, hi Amanda. We'll miss you at dinner next week. Me too. Our Wonder Cruise is February 16th to the 23rd. We get off when you get on. That sucks. I am upset that I'm going to miss you guys. I don't know. I'll try to switch my week. I don't know if I can do it or not because I'm on a cruise January 12th. So that's like pretty tight for me to do it. But it's funny, I'm doing that with AJ too. AJ's on a cruise January 5th to the 12th. So we're going to get breakfast in Miami. So if you guys want to get breakfast, I don't know what time you're flying back. But if you guys want to grab some breakfast on February 23rd, let's grab some breakfast. If you guys get off the ship early in the morning, let's go grab some breakfast and we'll hang out. But yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome time on Odyssey. You guys are going to have a blast. It's so much fun. Next bit of cruise news. Carnival has introduced a new onboard. Carnival is notorious for having these creepy characters that walk around. They have that like Tao guy who is horrifying. Not as horrifying as the Mad Hatter on Symphony, but pretty horrifying. Now they've introduced Ducky, the duck, the cruise duck that is going to be wandering around the cruise ships. Again, equally as creepy and horrifying, but very funny. And it's nice. They kind of dig into the kitschy part of it. I will say, I do get the duck thing. I get it. I enjoy the duck thing, right? I'm not collecting ducks by any mean. I do enjoy putting them out there sometimes. I do enjoy seeing kids find ducks. It is fun. Now, do people go a little bit too far? Sure. So I saw when we were on Symphony, I saw kids like ripping apart the plants in Central Park to try to find ducks. So, and people hanging on like trees to like put them higher. So like, here's my thought process. Keep it simple with the ducks, right? Just keep it simple. Don't ruin the ship. We also talked about it last year when we were on Norwegian. People were gluing the ducks. They had these little ducks and they were gluing them. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Hide the ducks in simple place. They're for kids. It shouldn't be super challenging to find them. Next up, again, talking about the smaller ship pursuit. We talked a little bit about it with the Discovery class. We're starting to get more and more drips of information from Michael Bailey. When we were on our Symphony cruise last week, Captain Angel talked a little bit about it, and he did say, now we have a little bit of news from Jason Liberty, who is the chief executive of Royal Caribbean. And what we're learning here little by little is that we're not going to get really small ships again, like Voyager and Grandeur and those class. It's just not going to happen. It's not profitable enough for them to build ships like that. So what they're going to do is they're going to build smaller ships that can fit into a lot of the ports, but still have a lot of the amenities and still give you the ability to do a bunch of things, which I think is a good, happy medium. So putting in those ships that are maybe a little bit, because what they said is maybe a little bit larger than the Freedom class, a little bit smaller than the Quantum class, that's a pretty good happy medium, I think, because you're going to be around 4,000, a little less than 4,000 maybe, and maybe make it, like more things, less people. I don't know. I'm sure that's not going to happen, but somewhere in that 4,000 range, I feel like is pretty good. And they're already designing those ships. They just haven't announced them yet. Royal Caribbean's very, very good about keeping the wraps on things. So I think that's the way it's going to go. And I think that's fine. Charlie said 3 duck limit per hider. Yeah, I mean, don't hide 700 ducks around the ship. No, I mean, it's fine. I don't have an issue with like, we brought like a bag of ducks on the ship and hid a bag of ducks. It's fun. I love seeing kids and people find them. It's really cool. Just be respectful. I also saw one of the I get up super early in the morning to get coffee. So it's like 4:30 in the morning. And I saw one of the housekeepers and he found a duck And I was like, is it annoying? Are the ducks annoying to you? He's like, no, I have a whole room full of them. So they love them too. So it's fine. But I just don't like when people ruin the ships. So I talked about it a little bit. I did a video on this yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever it was. Norwegian Encore has hit some snags with their dry dock. I talked about it on the live stream as well. So I won't really dig into that too much. Some of the things aren't going to happen. Most of them are, but it is going to drag on a little bit. And the next cruise after that, they will still be in a little bit of cleanup mode from that. So it is what it is, but it's fine. My favorite ship right now, the Oasis of the Seas, has completed its 15 years of service. What an awesome ship Oasis is. I love it. It's currently my favorite ship. I don't know why. I just like it's a little more modern. They have the fun pool deck than Symphony, and it has Port Barbecue, which I really liked. I don't know. I just had a couple really great experiences on there. I think that has something to do with it as well. So Oasis 15 years, happy anniversary on that one. That is awesome. Can't wait for the next one to come out. So few more cruise news items left. So if you've ever had to put a ship like a sailing on hold, it used to be just like 48 hours to 3 days. So now they've extended that for Royal Caribbean to 5 days. You can now put a cabin on hold for 5 days. This is really good. Although I do have some people that call me like every few weeks and put cabins on hold, and then they expire, and then they do another one, and then it expires, and then they do another one, and it expires. So 5 days, I think, is plenty. It gives you a little more time, because when it was 2 or 3, I would get that consistent, like, okay, we lost that one. Can you put another one? We lost that one. Can you put another one? Which is fine. I don't have a problem doing it. It's just annoying that it keeps expiring so quickly. So I think 5 is a good day. I think a week would be really nice, but 5 is pretty good. And again, it's got to be like a little bit out. Within 30 days, you can't do that. It's 0 days. It's 31 to 45 days. You can hold it for a day because you're ready in final payment. 46 to 90 days, it's 2 days. Again, you're ready in final payment. And then 5 days, obviously, if you're outside of final payment. Black Broadway Lady said, good morning. We did our first cruise on July on the Meraviglia out of Brooklyn. Is there any way of finding out other cruise companies leaving out of New York? Try to avoid going to Florida. Sure, I can give you a pretty good list. So Princess leaves out of Brooklyn as well. Enchanted Princess right now leaves out of Brooklyn. Cunard leaves out of Brooklyn a lot, or Manhattan. Manhattan, you have Norwegian, Princess. Carnival leaves out of New York. Venezia right now leaves out of New York. Norwegian, I said. Royal Caribbean leaves out of Bayonne, New Jersey. So you get all one Oasis ship during the summer. You get one like other ship, like Liberty was there this summer. And now we're going to have Odyssey for the winter. So you have 3 choices there. And you get a celebrity ship. So we had Summit last year. I forget what was there this year. There'll be another one there this year. And then you have Baltimore as well. So you have a ton of little things in there. I know Baltimore's not super close, maybe since you're in New York. But you do have a bunch of lines and ships going out of Manhattan, as well as Brooklyn and New Jersey. And if you shoot me an email, I can give you like the full list as well. Next up, speaking of Royal Caribbean, they've announced 5 ships in Europe for 2026. Again, little by little, the deployment schedules are coming out. January is the Northeast, which I can't wait to see what ship we're getting in 2026. Hopefully it's something fun, new, and big. So 2026 in Europe, we're going to have Harmony, Odyssey, Liberty, Explorer, and Brilliance. And they're going to be doing a range of 2 to 14 night itineraries from 5 home ports. So you are going to have Mykonos, Dubrovnik in Croatia, and the fjords. They're going to go to a bunch of different destinations. So it is going to be, they're also going to have the solar eclipse on the Liberty. Barcelona is going to have Harmony. That is going to be going to Palma de Mallorca, Spain, La Spezia, Naples, and Marseille. Odyssey is going to Civitavecchia for 7 to 9 night cruises to the Eastern Mediterranean, which also goes to like Mykonos, Santorini, and Kusadasi. And then joining the Odyssey, Explorer of the Sea is going to be doing Eastern from Ravenna. And then you have a bunch of them going to Croatia and Athens. And then Brilliance is going to be leaving from Piraeus in Greece Civitavecchia, Ravenna, and Barcelona. Liberty is going to be in Northern Europe, going out of Southampton. They're going to be doing the fjords and those type of fun cruises. Really fun. Can't wait to go over there and do some of those. It's just super expensive. So, yeah, it's really hard when you do a lot of cruise. Again, I'm not complaining. I get how lucky I am to go on a lot of these cruises. But again, I pay. It's not like I'm not paying for them. So, what to me, like when I look for cruising opportunities, a lot of times we're trying to get a good deal. So for instance, this year, I have a couple ships that are costing me a lot of money. Like Wonder is still very expensive. We're going on Wonder in February. I'm going on Icon in May. It's still very expensive. Luckily I found a group deal, but it's still like $4,000 for a balcony, which is crazy. So doing cruises out of Europe, while I like the idea of that, it does extend my vacation. It extends that time I need to be away by about 3 or 4 days because you got to get in early. It takes a long time to fly back, and then it's expensive to fly. I have to get a hotel for a few days, so that's why we tend to stay. I tend to stay Florida, Texas, Baltimore-ish the first half of the year. Second half of the year, I really do try to stay closer to home. Just cut down those days a little bit. I do have a dog. Like there are, I do have responsibilities. So, and I have a real job. So trying to do all that. So I would like to get to Europe more. It's just a little difficult to do right now. And my parents are elderly, and I don't, I'm always worried about being too far away and not being able to get home quickly. So, normal stuff as you get older. Ralph G said you were the first to report on Magnifica. Thanks for your content. Of course, Ralph. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love going on those different ships that maybe nobody talks about as much. I had a great time on Magnifica. Small ship, but I had a blast. I don't think I would enjoy like a 7-day cruise on there. I think there's not enough to do there for me for a 7-day cruise. Probably for most people there is. I just like buzzing around doing a bunch of different things. So I love Magnifica. It was a great ship. I did 4 days and that was perfect. Few items left. Royal Caribbean has announced that they would like every cruise to have a perfect day. So you know what that means? There are going to be more perfect days. We already know that perfect day Mexico is coming in a few years. We already know the Royal Beach Club is coming. I have some footage of the construction of that. I got some footage when I was on my last Symphony cruise with Sandy, Bob, Amanda, Emily, and Dakota. And this time I got more footage and it's completely leveled now. So it is like blank slate starting over down there. And then they're building another one of those in Grand Bahama. So that's super exciting. They're building one in Cozumel. Super exciting, which aren't perfect days, but they're beach clubs. So I think you're going to see another, after they get done this perfect day, I think they'll announce they're going to be doing another perfect day, which is going to be wild. So I love it. Ash said, I don't see many cruise tubers going on West Coast cruises besides Alaska. Do you have any plans, thoughts on a West Coast cruise to Mexico or even out to Hawaii? Yeah, I would love to do that. I had one scheduled for this year, but I canceled it. So I had Firenze scheduled, which I was going to do Mexican Riviera. But after going on Venezia for the 4-day, I was like, I'm not doing this again. So I am going to plan one for there. Maybe I'll get there like mid-year this year. That's not too bad for me. Obviously, it's a 5-hour flight, but you're right. I think most of the cruise tubers. So look, I'm in Pennsylvania, right? We're in Philly. So that's rare enough for the cruise tubers. Most of the cruise tubers I feel like are in Florida, with the exception of Don, who was up in Canada and Toronto, and obviously Emma and Gary Bembridge and them. But all the big ones here, like Midships and Ship Life and Griffin Alyssa, Matt, all those people, Tony, they live down in Florida. So it's just easy for them. They can get on 10 ships. The Weekend Cruiser, he's on all those ships. He's down in Florida. So yeah, I would love to. I think that's a great idea. I would love to do Hawaii. That's another one I'm going to have to wait a few years for, because those are, not only are those a little bit more expensive, but again, I have to kind of be somewhat close, to be able to get home in case I need to. But yeah, Mexico for sure. I'd love to leave out of that LA port, and even out of Seattle, maybe go to someplace cool. I would love to do the one that does Russian River Valley and wine country and all that. So I'd like to do that as well. So yeah, I'll try to do that this year. See if we can get that done. Next bit of cruise news. I have a video coming out on this did it come out yesterday? Yeah, it came out yesterday. The MSC added the Blue Diamond tier. I went through all the tiers again. They did add a decent amount of stuff for Blue Diamond. I'm still waiting clarification on a few different things. People have asked about the second person for the free dining. People have asked about maybe not spending money anymore. Those things don't add up, that it's only based on the experience now. I'm just waiting for some clarification, and then I'll do a follow-up video on that. So we'll get that done as well. And then the last bit of cruise news I have for this morning is that Norwegian's cruise line CEO has a surprising take on entertainment. Nobody's, I think, going to be surprised by this. And it basically talks about how Royal really leans into these Broadway shows and these big productions, having performers in the pubs and Schooner Bar and all these different things. CEO Harry Sommer of Norwegian said that may not actually be what people want. This is his quote on it. So he had a conversation with Come Cruise With Me's travel agent partner, Dennis Post, and they talked about these different things on the ship. He really talked a lot about food and entertainment. He said that they invest heavily in customer service. I don't doubt that. Their customer service is very good. They've adopted trying to eliminate what food they don't want and focus on the food they do want. They want to spend more time on good food. He said guests don't want to see Broadway shows. They want to see shorter shows, which are cheaper. I can show you the data. Now, I don't particularly believe that. I was on Symphony. They showed Hairspray several times. People saw it. It's a 90-minute show. Now, would you argue that maybe a 60-minute show or a 45-minute show would be better? I'm fine with that. It doesn't mean that people don't want to see these large-scale production shows. And it certainly doesn't mean that I want to sit in there doing Price is Right, which Price is Right is fun, don't get me wrong. But doing Wheel of Fortune on every single cruise ship or doing Deal or No Deal every night, don't lie about it and say that it's not a cash grab when it's 100% a cash grab. If you don't want to do Broadway or large production shows, there's a distinction between a 90-minute show and having really good 45 to 60-minute entertainment. The Gift on Royal, Flight on Royal, those shows are 45 to 50 minutes. They are outstanding. Ice skating shows, 45 to 50 minutes, outstanding. The Aqua Theater show, 45 to 50-minute show, outstanding. So if we're just going to sit there and very specifically pick and choose the verbiage of guests don't want Broadway shows, okay, that doesn't mean we don't want any entertainment. So the fact that they keep removing entertainment is a little bit enraging to me. I love Norwegian and I want them to be great because there is definitely a place for their services and what they do. I just want more to do on the ship and not have to feel like I have to pay extra for everything that I do just to go watch a couple people play Wheel of Fortune. You know what I mean? So that's all the cruise news for today. It's enough of my complaining on a Sunday. Whoever your football team is, we talked about the Detroit Lions a little bit. Tara's not here, but I know she's a Baltimore Ravens fan. You got the Bills up there in Schifferly country. We got the Eagles down here. Hope everybody has a very, very wonderful day. Hope your football team does well. Kim says, very well put. WizardofOz.com was 90 minutes and we loved every minute. Yeah, awesome. Right? If it's a good show. Now, look, you want to argue about Cats? I'll argue with Cats with you all day. I don't want to see 90 minutes of Cats. But a lot of the other shows are great. Tool Fart said, have a great birthday Wednesday. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm not getting any younger. But yeah, no live stream on Wednesday. Wednesday's my birthday, so I will not be doing a live stream. My family will murder me if I do that. I thought about it. I was going to do it. Or I was going to do it a little later maybe or a little earlier, but I keep getting vetoed by the family. So thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy your football today. Have a great day, and I will see everybody next week. Hope you have a great one. Happy cruising. Bye.